Hey guys, welcome back to Thunderdome Homestead. So I got another interview for you of another person local to me. She lives. How far away do you live from the derailment site?
six six miles in Negley from the train derailment.
Okay. So what effects have you been experiencing from what's been going on?
The biggest health complaints we have had, my two daughters and myself, have been constant headaches, sore throat, like a lump in the throat, kind of burning, itching feeling, coughing, nausea, and very lightheaded and dizziness. Um, Even almost to the point of walking around like you're in a fog or a daze. Um, my daughters have had the same thing, in addition to myself.
Okay. So when you said that when you leave town, your symptoms improve, correct? You want to elaborate on that?
Yes, when the train first derailed, it let off chemicals from the fire, and everybody started getting sick. We live in Negley. That's where the water from the firemen basically drained into the creeks down to us, and all the chemical smells was coming our way. When they did the first evacuation, we in Negley did not get that evacuation, so we stayed there. On the 6th of February, when they did the actual controlled burn, they moved the evacuation out to 2 miles, but we were already sick from the smell and the vapors and everything else. So we decided to go ahead and leave and evacuate. My family lives in Columbus, Delaware area. We got about 45 minutes out of town and started feeling better. Once we got to Columbus, for the whole 6 days, all three of us were healthy and right back to square one before the train derailment symptoms. After 6 days, we came back to Negley. We weren't even there an hour and immediately started getting sick. The following week, I went down for a funeral in Columbus. Again, we were healthy. We came back from the funeral, we got sick again. This past weekend, we left with friends of ours to go to West Virginia, and again, we got healthy once we were in West Virginia. When we came back, we got sick again, and then by Tuesday I was so sick that I ended up going to the urgent care in Columbiana.
Okay. So uh, we met through the person you went to West Virginia with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you want to describe some of their symptoms?
Yeah, my friend has a son that lives in Negley, and he ended up taking a shower in his water, which is a shallow well in town. He ended up getting red skinned and itchy, burning feeling. As a roommate, the roommate had the same situation. We had another friend in Columbiana that they were getting red skin from the rain, so we don't know if that was acid rain or not. Um, and my daughter at our house, she took a shower and she started getting itchy skin after the shower as well. None of us got any rashes, but it's just the fact that the water is causing problems when they say that the water is safe, and obviously it's not.
Yeah. Is there anything in particular you want people to know about not even just the situation at hand, but things that aren't being told or reported on, or even just your own personal experiences?
Um, I know when I went to the urgent care in Columbiana after I got back from West Virginia, I've been to that urgent care multiple times previous for symptoms that my daughter got sick at school and brought the illness home, and then I got sick. Um, when I went to the urgent care, I spoke to the doctor, told them, look, I'm really having a really bad sore throat, the headache, the coughing. I was very lightheaded and dizzy and nauseous. And the doctor that was at the Columbiana Urgent Care had said hundreds of patients have come in from Palestine, Columbiana, Negley area having the exact same symptoms as me, and she's trying to do what she can to document it to prove that there is an issue going on, that the government is saying everything is safe, but it's not.
Yeah.
And the other thing we found out was my friend and I went to a resource fair in East Palestine at the high school a couple days ago, and they had a bunch of different tables set up with government agencies there to pass out information and answer residents and surrounding cities questions. There was a lot of useful information, but some of the information I wasn't agreeing with, some things I was, but I ended up speaking to the Norfolk Southern William Hardin, who was there. He was a person that writes the checks in the Abundant Life Church in New Waterford Family Assistance Center for Palestine residents. He informed me that they will be reimbursing Negley and surrounding cities for their hotel costs for evacuation and water testing, because I had explained to him that they were turning surrounding city residents away, and he said that I write the checks and I will make sure that everybody can get reimbursed if they need it in surrounding cities and Negley. So that was good to know.
Yeah, it's about time. People have been hurting. There's been a real blind eye cast onto the surrounding towns. You know, everybody puts a lot of spotlight and focus and emphasis on East Palestine, but they fail to realize that they weren't the only ones affected.
And as I explained to them, the EPA, the US EPA, Ohio EPA, Pennsylvania and Ohio Department of Health, CDC, Soil and Conservation, all of those people were at the meeting a couple days ago. As I explained to them, the plume from the smoke cloud did not pick a zip code or a 1 mile radius to contaminate surrounding cities. It went where the wind carried it, and there was 70-mile-an-hour wind, and it hit a big region and states. And they said that they're finally understanding that the surrounding cities and Negley are having damage, if not more damage, than parts of East Palestine have had. And they're realizing we are being neglected, and I think a month into it, they're trying to assist where they can. And they just got it approved to start doing soil samples, so that's a blessing.
Yeah. Definitely intend to have some of those done here. Is there anything else that you'd like people to know about?
My biggest concern was that I was worried about the gardening, and I told them that Norfolk Southern pretty much took our entire livelihood away. I told the Norfolk Southern guy the same thing. He apologized, and I actually believed he was sincere in his actions, but I know a lot of people aren't buying what Norfolk Southern's saying because they are business profit. But I explained to him, you guys took our soil, made our soil be contaminated. You took our water. We're having to use bottled water. And even if I take bags of soil and put that in a container bucket for a garden and use bottled water, what guarantee and what proof do I have that the air from the dioxins from the burn of the controlled burn, what guarantee do I have that the air is going to be contaminated and not ruin the seeds that I plant tomatoes or peppers in and grow that and it become poisonous? How do I have the guarantee and the proof that the food is now poisoned? And I explained to them that you now have taken away our right to grow food safely, and you're taking away all of our houses because all of our house values are now in the dirt, negative value, and you're taking away our businesses because our businesses in Palestine that nobody can work at anymore are getting shut down because so many people are so sick they can't work there. And you pretty much, you're wiping our whole town out and making us extinct, and it's not fair, and it's very scary. And I'm not the only one that's scared and worried that they're doing this. And the worst part is nobody really knows what the future's going to hold, and how are we supposed to bounce back and recuperate from this?
Right. And even if you do get the answers you want, how are you supposed to trust them?
Exactly.
They've had a track record of being less than honest so far.
And their track record for Norfolk Southern was train accidents every 3 to 5 days, but in the last 6 weeks since the East Palestine derailment, their track record went from every 3 days to almost every single day. So they're definitely proving their point that they are not worried about safety. They are more worried about profits.
For sure. Yeah, any other thoughts or concerns or anything else you want to be made known? Or anything that you haven't heard broadcasted on the mainstream media?
No, aside from I would like that they figure this crap out sooner than later, because obviously if hundreds and hundreds of people are getting sick, how long are they going to keep pulling the wool over our eyes telling us everything's safe when we weren't sick before this started, and now hundreds of people are getting sick? Something is obviously in the air that they're hiding and needs to be said. They need to just admit the truth.
100%. So again, I said it in my last video. I've started a GoFundMe for not just East Palestine, but the surrounding area. People need, it's great that everybody's sending bottled water, but people need more than just bottled water. They need air purifiers. They need all sorts of things. Even, vitamins, diapers, all kinds of stuff. Even food. So I will put that in the description, or I'll link it below. If you guys got anything out of this, like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.